And hey, hello there folks, me RJB from RJB TV, returning with two names who have not been on the channel in quite some time. I think JJabho actually has not been on the channel for maybe 2 years already. Maybe a little bit shorter, not quite sure when I last cast JJabho, but I think I cast him against Gensei or something like that. Let's very quickly edit the score on the top. JJabho, no wins, and Voss, no wins. It's a 0-0. We're getting right into the action with two names that I personally think are pretty good. We got Voss here, also known as JH, actually intended to be read as the boss, because Korean has the V, the F, the P, and the B. They all share the same letter, so I think it was meant to be by boss. He's the boss. And we're going to find out whether he actually is. He's here on the green Protoss on the middle left of the map. And we have JJabho, an almost professional Terran player, here on the 12 o'clock spawn location. And I actually want to give some background on this, because I think it is kind of fun to know. So the player Gensei wanted to break into the bigger streaming atmosphere in the normal map professional / semi-professional community. And I think it kind of started with Mong playing fast a lot with Gensei. And then I think JJabho and Mong took Gensei under their wing, so to speak, to try and boost him up a little bit within the scene and get him to become a stronger normal map player than he was at the time. He was already pretty strong. He was an A rank player, but he wanted, of course, become a high S rank player. And that's what they did. He became an S rank player, became pretty good, became pretty high on the scene, started playing against a lot of semi-professional and top-level amateur players who are all pretty much on the level of becoming a professional, but they're just not there yet. And I think JJabho is arguably one of the best players in that circle, because he won a couple of the highest level amateur tournaments right below the professional tournaments. So he's almost there. He's a very good player. And I hope that he's going to get to show off his skills here against Voss, who is a 1v1 expert on fastest map. He's not specifically known for his expert micro or multitasking, but JH is a very smart player, very precise with his movements and timings. He understands what he can and cannot do very, very well. Like here, trying to squeeze in a couple more hits, because he knows that one Zealot can maybe win the fight, but the micro there on display from JJabho is pretty good. Oh yeah, pretty good micro. So even though JH or Voss felt he could do it, he couldn't. Because it's not every day that you walk into a Terran with micro as good as JJabho. It's exceptional. He starts off with a triple gateway cannon push from that choke point. Going to try to push forward onto the barracks and try to overpower that cannon leverage to push JJabho to extinction. Is he gonna work there though? There's a bunker coming up in the front. Marines are microing backwards very expertly. Small, minute movements. Very small, minute movements. And it nets him the win, but not on time to kill the cannon there in the front. It's gonna come up. So at least JH has a foothold in this choke point, from which he can maybe push forward onto JJabho. Now JJabho just finished his gas. He's now getting an academy, some triple barrack production. The bunker there in the front is going to keep that cannons away from hitting the bunker. So this is going to be a difficult push, and JH knows that. And because JH knows that, he's already getting a cyber core. He's going to progress into something else. He knows he cannot finish this game simply by pushing cannons forward with the support from Zealots. He knows it is most likely not going to happen, so he's going to have to cook up something else. Now we got a 5 barrack boat order from JJabho. He might try to marine stim medic his way through the cannons into the middle. That might be his plan. Otherwise he'd be going for a factory, in which case he'd be trying to push through the cannons with a tank. But JH is just now kind of just using the 3 cannons to keep JJabho contained in his base. He's going to try all sorts of moves at the same time with his Zealots to try and distract and do some damage here and there. He's pulling the Marines to the front while attacking the back with Zealots, although it's mostly just scouting at the moment, because 2 Zealots are not going to kill a whole lot of those Marines or SCVs. It's not going to happen. It's largely for scouting purposes. But the information he's getting with this scout is pretty valuable. He sees that there's no additional command centers, sees a factory coming up there on the side, and sees his 5 barrack production. He sees that Stim and Medic are on the way as the academy is finished up. This gives him a lot of information on what to do, although Zealots on the left side actually sneak in, and they're going to try to kill some SCVs again and delay the factory. Although the SCV on the factory is getting out of range and the factory finishes up, Zealots in the back going to try to kill SCVs on the gas, but no, not succeeding. Just going to walk in circles and be annoying, I guess. JJabho is simply on point with the movement, with the micro, and with specifically the production. If you keep your eye on his minerals continuously, you can see that his spending is absolutely out of this world while controlling Marines walking around the base. It's really impressive how well professional players and almost professional players can spend their minerals. It's almost impossible to replicate. And yeah, he goes in with the Stin Marine. He got 5 barrack production, overpowering the cannons. Dragoon's gonna have to run away. They might get an encirclement on that choke point, but the encirclement won't really do too much because there's a lot of Marines and a lot of medics pushing forward into the middle. JH is in trouble. He's trying to retreat. Dragoons, ooh, one of them walks into his death. Oh no, this is looking terrible for JH, but he has a lot more Dragoons spawning there back at home because he's got 7 gateway production. He's trying to buy time for another round of Dragoons to spawn. He has a pretty good arc around the entrance, but the Marines stimming forward with medic support are very strong. But is it strong enough? Is it strong enough? The Marines are thinning out as medics are running out of energy. More Marines are coming from the back. Marines are dying very quickly now. The medics are not healing them fast enough. The Dragoons are strong in this situation, and more Dragoons are spawning at the same time. I think JJabho might have just overextended a little bit too far, believing he had an opportunity, but oh boy was he wrong. Even I believed for a second that he might have a shot. Even I believed for a second he might have a shot there. Got a robotics there in the back and Shield is on the way. Support bay is now being warped in. So the Reaver is going to be a little bit slower, but at least JH is pushing forward. The bunker in the front there is going to keep the Dragoons away. Tank in the back there is sieging up very soon. The tank siege mode is not yet finished up. There is a window of time for JH to aggressively push forward and risk it all to end it all right here, right now. Dragoons are getting lower on HP. Tanks being microed backwards. Tanks are going down there though. One tank stays alive. One tank stays alive. Siege mode is finished up. He's going to have to repair the tank. He's taking a lot of risk by pulling the tank forward. A lot of risk. A lot of risk, but look at how many more Dragoons are coming in. Marines, you got 5 barrack production, but the 5 barrack production might not be enough. Tank siege is up there in the back, but it gets shut down soon. Yeah, there we go. So another tank there ready for the taking. The Dragoons actually surviving the double bunker attack, although the frontal bunker is empty, I assume. Let me check real quick. It's empty. Only the bunker in the back is filled up. So JH here, with pure genius, finds the opportunity on a bad counterattack from JJabho to pull his own counterattack, but now his forces are split. And this gives JJabho a moment, a small moment in time to isolate the Dragoons in the top corner before the Dragoons in the front can join up. So the Dragoons in the back are getting taken down. Tank in the back there, fireman getting repaired as well. It took some damage earlier, but now it's getting repaired. It's fully back and operational. You're back at home though. We got a Reaver on the way. More Dragoons are coming from across the map. Reaver already here on the scene actually. He beat me to it. Now the Reaver changes everything. Because the Reaver really damn strong. SCV's running to safety, but more SCVs. Oh, gets 1 Marine kill. Staying just out of tank range. Marines are coming in from 2 sides at the same time. Reaver gets taken down, but Dragoons are sneaking up on the left bottom side. Oh boy, these games between these two, as I said at the start, they're pretty much almost always highly exciting. Not always. Even though you have 2 great players in the same game, doesn't mean the game will be awesome, but this one is awesome. It's just pure aggression. Non-stop from both players, from start to finish. Wraith in the sky against this shuttle, but the shuttle is leaving. It's leaving. He's trying to find it, but it's already gone. It's already retreating to pick up a drop back at home. As 2 Reavers are being produced, they're back at home. Dragoons are circling around the bottom right this time. The bottom left did not work. Maybe the bottom right will work. And yes, it will. There's supply depots. Walling, but supply depots exposed to Dragoons, Marines flanking from the bottom. It's a very good flank, but there's no tank to help them out. Will the Marines win or will the Marines perish? We don't know. Zealots coming in from the front door there. Tank drop leaving the base. He's sacrificing one tank and one dropship to try and go for a counter hit on the probes to maybe save the game. Reaver comes in. Oh, this might just be the end. Reaver unloads. Reaver is a double Reaver right in between the tanks. The tanks cannot shoot. Scarabs are chasing. Scarabs are exploding. Safety if he's still alive. And those Scarabs are going to kill all the Marines as well. More as if he's... Ooh, that one did not hit. The tank that goes down. Reaver in the back still alive. Marines going to try to finish it off. Tank drop coming in there, staying there from the top side in JH's base, but it's one tank. He's rolling closer, sieging up. He's too far away, I believe. It's the left side, but not the right side. The right side was the correct side, but doesn't hit it. Hit the wrong side, it was too far away to hit the right, and that might just cost him the game. Because he had a chance to make a comeback if he killed all those probes. Because JH is low on money. But now that JH still has 50 probes, there's not a chance in this world that JJabho is gonna survive this game. 18 SCVs, 5 barracks, 1. It's a miracle he's managed to stay alive though. On 5 barracks and 1 factory, it's a miracle he's managed to stay alive. But, there's a big but looming over us. It's very big and I cannot deny that it's there. I gotta acknowledge it. There's Reaver. 2 Reavers inside the shuttle. 1 Reaver, correction. A lot of Zealots coming in there from the top, trying to kill the Reaver, but the Reaver gets a good shot off, and the Zealots and Dragoons then come rushing in, and that should be the game. He finds a pretty good entrenched position in between the barracks where the Zealots are not as effective, but there's simply an overpowering force that beats him down to the curb, and JJabho loses game number 1, and Voss wins game number 1. Let's very quickly adjust the score. Voss, 1 win. JJabho, no wins. But there's another game coming up. There's a couple more games coming up, actually. And we're going to do game number 2 right now, and then game number 3 and maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 afterwards. I don't exactly know how many games there are, but not 10, not 3. It's more than 3, but not 10. Let's go into game number 2 and see what JJabho can pull off when he's on the Protoss. And Voss is back on his favorite race, the Terran. What can JJabho do on Protoss? They're right next to each other. And that is good for JH, but also good for JJabho, because JJabho is a very early game aggressive player. And Voss is a very defensive player who does not shy away from taking risks on counterattack. So we saw in the last game. Took some risks here and there, but everything worked out just fine because he has so much experience in countering every single situation he can be in many times before. So let's see, what are we gonna see? What is JJabho gonna bring to the table here on the blue Protoss on the bottom middle of the map? Voss starts with a barrack first. Kind of standard stuff, nothing too exceptional. So they're having a little chat. Yeah, so what I wanted to talk about here is JH, sadly a retired player. I kind of miss him because he always played a lot of games against Berber Sasu, Lee Baku, against Rabbit, against 458. I have a lot of cool replays I might still have to cast from JH. But he's kind of been one of those forgotten players because he kind of stopped in 2021, played maybe 1 game in 2022, well, maybe 10, but not a lot. He's kind of been retired since 2021. So he's kind of one of the players who's been inactive for a while, and when you're inactive for too long, you kind of are forgotten to a degree. And a lot of new faces and new people probably haven't seen too much of this player, and probably have never seen JJabho. Yeah, sometimes it hurts me a little bit that players who are really good are forgotten, because they're great to watch. They're amazing to watch. There's a lot to learn and a lot to be entertained by. So So we have JJabho here trying to defend his choke with double probe against the Marine that is going to try to kill one cannon or maybe kill a probe. Or just be plain annoying. JJabho is trying to buy time for his cannons to finish. He's using 2 probes now again to defend. One went down just earlier. 1 probe they're going to try to sneak into JH's base. Marines are on the side. He's going to try to kill the probes. And gets a second probe kill for 2 Marines. So a 2 for 2, but I would dare to argue that a probe has more value than a Marine. A probe, you know, costs 50 minerals, but over the span of a game, 1 probe can maybe get you 1,000 minerals. Maybe. So a probe has more value, because the longer the game goes on, the higher the value of that 1 probe becomes, whereas a Marine kind of remains at the same value the entire game through, 50 minerals. So what is he gonna do? He's getting an early academy. I don't see a command center yet, but he might get a command center sometime soon, but maybe he won't. Yeah, no, he has the minerals for one, so every single time an SV moves around, I'm thinking he's gonna build an a command center. There it is, finally. The +1 command center is gonna get, he's gonna lift the barracks over the wall to try and get a firebat into the base to hit the probes in the back. We got an early cybercore there from JJabho. He went for a risky middle spawn build order. Usually on the middle spawn, it's a Nexus, it's 2 gateways before Nexus. He went for Nexus Force Gateway. A little bit more risky, a little bit more exposed to aggression from a Terran early on. But he's steadily producing single Zealots and getting his technology in order. So Warmer Cannon in the front, technology coming up in the back. And Barracks is flying in and it's landing. But it's visible, but there's no cannons at the back. So you can start to build a firebat, and the firebat will finish before the cannon will. So this is where we start to get into the risky business for JJabho. Marines in the front there, though. They might try to stim through, but it's a little bit too early for that. Zealot in the back there. He's going to try to catch and intercept the firebat. Oh, the firebat is running. The firebat's going. He's going to try to hit those probes, and he misclicks on the assimilator and hits no probes. So that's a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, and this one gets stuck and gotta get killed. No. There it goes. Look at it go. 8 HP. Get taken down by the cannon. So that this barrack lift firebat attempt wasn't very clean. JJabho didn't do it correctly. It's more so JH failing to make this work. Although now he's coming in, firebat, they're on the scene, firebat dies. Yeah, it's not gonna work. There's 2 cannons now, it's not gonna work. But it's something fun to keep JJabho occupied with while he tries to stim through the cannons in the front with the Marines and the medics, and is working. The Zealots were away from the front. Now the front is getting taken down. And the Reaver is still very, very far away. Very far away. He's gonna kill the pylon. He's gonna kill the robo. He's gonna kill everything there in the front. The Reaver is not gonna spawn. And the Reaver is exactly what he needs to defend the base. So the robo gonna go down, gonna have to build a new one in the back. He's getting, he's got a Citadel of a Dune, he's got a support bay in the back. He's got 2 more gateways warping, and he's brainstorming on what to do to save the game. So support robotics being built in the back. Right there. And JH there, pushing to the front. He can hit the gateways from a safe distance. I assume he's got range from Marines and stim from Marines, so you can hit the gateways for sure. And there's only 3 Zealots on the scene. There's going to be 2 more very soon. But those 2 additional Zealots are not going to make a big difference. Siege mode almost finished up. Tank is on the way. You got to drop a starport as well. Getting an add-on. And a 5th barrack as well. It looks like JH is going to stim through and stim his way to victory. But Zealots are from the side, flanking with Zealot speed. Getting on top of the Marines, getting in between the Marines, but there's too many medics, too many Marines. But the Zealots are at least reducing the number of Marines, and that's important. Because if there's more Marines, everything dies faster. So killing a couple of them, it helps. Up until the point, even more Marines arrive, which is what we're looking at right now. He's got a turret as well, so Dark Templars, not an option. Luckily for JJabho, Dark Templars are not what he's building. But a tank has arrived on the scene, and this is where the game becomes highly dangerous. for JJabho, but Reaver's on the way. A Reaver with a Reaver Shuttle Micro might still save the game, but JH sniffs out that structure's being warped in on the side. He's going to try to stim that all down before the Reaver arrives, but the Reaver is going to finish up. Zealots on the tank. Tank stays alive. One more tank has arrived. Reaver is loaded up in the shuttle. It's now or never. This Reaver is going to have to pull off a miracle. Gets one shot off, kills 6 Marines and a medic. Great shot. Goes right to kill the tank. Oh yeah, great micro, great control, but there's only 1 cannon alive in the back. The Reaver is doing amazing work. The tank behind the bunkers is impossible to attack. And the tank is stopping cannons from finishing. So this game can still go either way, but it's unlikely to go well for JJabho. Very unlikely, although he goes for a drop. Goes for a drop, arrives on the scene, Reaver unloads, Reaver's going to shoot its load, kills the SCVs, but you're on the other side of the map. Bunkers have entrenched this position. 35 SCVs still alive. If you hit the wrong side, if you hit the right side, more SCVs would have been gone than there are now. Gets a shot off on the probes, but misses the stack of probes, hits the probes on the gas. Not sure how that happened. Not sure how that happened. So this game should have ended, but it hasn't yet. Through a weird miracle, we're still in the game. I'm gonna try to get one more shuttle into that base, flying in. Loading on the bottom corner, shuttle goes down, Reaver is on the scene, Zealots are killing the turrets. He's trying to open a path for a follow-up drop. Tank gonna shoot in the Reaver, Zealots are ignoring the tank. Reaver is killing as much as it can. Gonna try to open up this entire space on the bottom. It's outside of tank range, gonna kill the turrets there on the scene. This one tank is rolling. Oh, this one tank might just try to hit the probes. JJabho still has a path towards victory. The tank sieges up within probe range, gonna hit those probes with his no, not within range. A little bit too far away, gonna have to kill the cannon first. And then fly right closer, row closer, just a little bit. Another Reaver arrives. He's killing this bottom corner. As I said before, this game will go either way. Has to kill those 2 tanks and protect the probes. Oh, what's inside the shuttles? He's flying in, unloading, double Reaver, triple Reaver on the scene. Tank still alive, probe still alive. He's got a lot of men in the bank. He's killing all supply depots. A lot of them at the same time. 2 more tanks coming closer. They are within range of the probes. Probes pulling this. Probes are gone. Reavers are killing supply depots and the Marines, but they need Scarabs at the moment. They're waiting for Scarabs to build, and that's the moment where they're attackable. Reavers are still alive. Oh, splits up the Marines. Tanks are within... Not sure which way this is going to go. There's 4 tanks sieged up on the top, but Zealots are attacking them. This game is ridiculously close. Again. Unloads his Reavers. SVs are running to safety on the top. Tanks still alive. Tanks getting attacked by the Zealots. FZs are too far away to hit. The Reavers... Marines coming in. Gonna take down the Nexus. Zealot on the bottom. Reavers on the bottom corner. Reavers shooting. Reaver killing a lot of SCV Marines. He's gotta take care of those tanks though. Here in the back, everything has been cleaned out. 41 SCVs still alive. Zealots are pushing forward, but bunkers are filled up. Tanks are dying. Tanks are dying. Tanks are not dying. The one tank stays alive. Next is going to go down. And I think that might be the GG, as JJabho is going to run out of minerals. He can no longer build any Scarabs. The probes have died. Tanks, Reavers unloading. Oh, one of them goes down. There's a Wraith on the scene. A lot of Reaver spawns. The backside is somewhat protected there for JH. He's got no minerals for Scarabs. He's gonna have to cancel something to build more Scarabs. He's gonna fly in. Marines on the scene. Marines not intercepting. Reavers. Oh, he unloads on a bad spot. Kills the tank, but getting surrounded by the Marines. Picks up one Reaver. Gonna try to unload there. Gonna try to hit the SCVs, but no, they run to safety yet again. 40 still alive. He's gonna try to... Oh, this... He's got no minerals. Literally no minerals left. Kills the Marines though. More Marines coming from the left. And the Reaver goes down. The Marines go down as well, but oh, that game was terribly close. Right up until the end. But as he runs out of minerals, Scarabs can no longer be built. Tank sieging up next to 2 probes, still providing income. And that is game number 2, going to JH yet again. JJabho, though, made that game a lot closer than it should have been. With some really good Reaver shuttle control, he pushed JH to his limit as well. These 2 players are equals, I can tell you that. So we're going to continue on with game number 3 and everything else after, in a video coming up very soon. Hopefully pretty soon. So please look forward to the next games, as I'll be signing out right here, right now, and saying goodbye until next time.